What's up, true believers? It's I, the OG GM. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. It's the 26th day of October 2022. It's about 63 degrees and dry and sunny here at Site B. Some would say this is fire weather. My skin is so dry because of this weather. I know. There's the one day of the year where I don't complain about the weather, and that's coming up. And speaking of coming up, see what I did there? It's time to take a look at all the Kickstarter / crowdfunder / support me role-playing projects that are coming to an end this week, but you still have a chance to support them. So if I mention anything that you think is worth your time and money, give them a toss. Toss a coin to your witcher, as they say. It helps out small independent publishers, gets you a free copy, well, not a free copy, but a copy of the product, and usually, stickers and other fun stuff. As always, I will point out the ones I think are worth your time and money, and I'll point out the ones that I think are an utter waste of your time and money, like, solo role-playing games. But that said, make up your own mind. Don't listen to me just because I think something's dumb. You might think that's the best thing ever and go like, dude, what are you talking about? That's the best idea for a role-playing game ever. Alice is Missing. Tabletop role-playing game of the year. I would have been like, yeah, no, but yeah. Of course, you never heard about it again, so... Anyways, let's go to Kickstarter and see what's ending this week. From Nepenthe Games, Nepenthe Games, we have Nevermore role-playing game. This is an original system. $50 gets you the PDF and the print version of the book, plus character sheets. It's an original RPG utilizing the American Gothic horror genre set around the 1800s. So... Melville, Poe, stuff like that, American Gothic horror. From Planet X Game, we have 3 Curses of Sister Saren for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. At $45 gets you the PDF print version of the book. PDF and print version of the book. Set in the Valley of the Crows, you deal with... multiple incursions from evil minions in the hopes that you will find the way to save the town from the 3 Curses of Sister Saren. And it comes with a comic. From Battlefield Press, we have the Quintessential Fighter for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Remember these things? Oh, yeah, they were so big in 3.5. Every Quintessential Fighter, Quintessential Masochist. Oh, God. Splat books. This is a splat book. It's $35 for the PDF and the POD version. POD version, basically, it's a coupon you can use to get a copy of the book from an online site. But, so you're printing on demand, but they're giving you a coupon. So, yeah. Want to ramp up your 5e fighter? With a source book of stuff that most DMs are going to go, yeah, I'm not going to let you have that. Well, you got the Quintessential Fighter from Battlefield Press. I was very familiar with these during 3.5, and oh god, most people didn't let you have them because usually they were just so unbelievably broken. From IGC, we have Apocalypse. That's it, just Apocalypse. $20 is for the PDF of the version, as well as virtual tabletop files. Apocalypse campaigns are a common type of RPG serial, but they can be difficult stories for GMs to craft every aspect of the setting and adventure. This book offers system-neutral advice on how to improve story encounters and tales set at the end of the world. Written as sort of a dictionary of fantasy, sci-fi, and modern settings, this book is created to help you create an apocalypse. So for $20, it's a book to give you writing prompts and ideas of how to run and play and create a tabletop role-playing end-of-the-world game. You still need to go out and actually find a system, but this is like, well, now you've got the system. Now you've bought Mutant Crawl Classic. Here we're going to give you this guide for $20 to tell you how to run Mutant Crawl Classic. Or your tabletop role-playing game of the end-of-the-world of choice. Yeah. From Homebrew and Hacking, we have 1 If by Land, 2 If by Sea, 3 If by Air. This is a D&D 5th edition adventure module, $10 for the PDF. And it's all about vehicles. Vehicles, air, land, water, magical, and original. This book is filled with vehicles. I do like the name Homebrew and Hacking. You may be this week's winner. From Gaming Ballistic LLC, we have Nightmare Fuel. This is a dungeon fantasy RPG. $125 gets you the PDF and print version of all 4 books and the card set, plus VTT files. This is a Steve Jackson game. It adds new aspects to dungeon fantasy, which is basically GURPS fantasy rewritten. It gives you Serpent of Legend at 40 pages. It's basically a bunch of beasteries, it looks like. We've got 40 pages of a 40-page book all about serpents and reptiles. We've got a 36-page book all about giant insects. We've got a 20-page book all about monsters that are, I guess, called Garden of Evil. So I guess with the name of Garden of Evil, they're like plants and stuff like that. So everything you need to have 3 different books of monsters for Steve Jackson Games Dungeon Fantasy for $125. You can buy these books for Dungeon Fantasy, which is sort of just GURPS Fantasy redone. $125. From 2C Gaming, we have Grimoire of the Grave, the ultimate 5e guide to undead. This is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition sourcebook. $55 gets you the PDF and the print version. It's a book filled with undead. Skeletons, zombies, ghouls, liches, undead toasters, everything you could ever want. If you need more undead for your campaign, this book's got it, because apparently they think there's not enough in the Monster Manual and the 10,000 products that Wizards of the Coast has done, featuring new and exciting undead. I mean, how many versions of a skeleton do you need? Oh, wait, I did an undead-centric product, so instead of paying $55, you could just spend 35 cents over at Big Geek Emporium and pick up my undead-centric product. So really, $55, 35 cents. I think you should get mine. Link down below. And oh, look, Level EN Publishing has got another thing they're kickstarting. Terrible Treasures and Frightful Fables for D&D 5e from EN Publishing. This is Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and for Level Up 5e, their home game. The book is holiday specific, with holiday, Halloween themed fun and magic, like magic candy, magic masks, haunted houses, skeletons, undead, terrible treasures, and frightful fables. $7 is for the PDF of the book from EN Publishing. And finally, we have a convention that is looking for some support. If you live in Lexington, Kentucky, the Lexicon 2023 tabletop board game and RPG friendly convention, as opposed to the RPG not friendly conventions. Not friendly, I don't know what that means. It's a tabletop gaming convention that looks to bring the best of RPGs, board games, miniatures, card games together in Lexington, Kentucky. They're looking for $40 for you to get a 3-day pass, and that $40 goes to help them to make sure they will actually have the hotel and be able to do all the things that they need to do. So if you live in Lexington, Kentucky, or just anywhere in Kentucky and want to help support a local game convention, bam, there we go. All right, let's see. This one's not a lot that I really, American Gothic horror game. Nah. Weird West D&D adventure module for $45. That's way too much money. Quintessential fighter, not at all. A book about how to write post-apocalypse role-playing games. Nope. A book about vehicles in 5e. Not really. $125 for 3 books for GURPS. Nope. $55 for a book with more undead because they feel you don't have enough. Nope. Supporting a convention. Yeah, so if I lived in Kentucky, I'd support that one. $7 for Terrible Treasures and Frightful Fables from EN Publishing. You got to respect them for the amount of, work they do, making sure their product is out there. I mean, it's like a week doesn't go by where I don't see at least one mention of them. So, I mean, for advertising alone and the amount of, pavement pounding these guys do to make sure you are aware they are making stuff for 5e, sort of feel at this time you got to support them just because the amount of work they're doing. They're doing more work for their product line than Wizards of the Coast does for theirs. So these guys really want to be your go-to 5e source. So yeah. In fact, Ian Publishing, you win this week's contest for best name. Not just the best game name, but you know what? I think it's time we take a look at the stuff you've done in Death. So congratulations, Ian Publishing. You win this week because nothing else really stands out to me. What do you win, Ian Publishing, for winning this week's contest for best game company name, or at least just best product? You win me talking about you in a YouTube video in about 10 minutes. Yay. Links down below to all the ones that I think are worth your time and effort. And speaking of time and effort and support, maybe you would want to consider supporting me, the OGGM, by picking up some OGGM-specific merch over at Teespring. Or instead of spending $55 on an undead-centric product, you could spend 35 cents for an undead-centric product from me, the OGGM, at Big Geek Emporium. Halloween's coming up, so stay safe. Keep your pets inside. And as always, get off my land. See ya.